I am pleased to introduce our next special guest, Dave Neyer, for a discussion about Georgia tax credits in schools. I met Dave probably a little less than a year ago through a mutual friend, Rusty Whitlow's great individual that I serve on a board with, and so I'm very pleased to have been able to develop this relationship with Dave. We share a lot in that he can provide a lot of services to our clients, and so it's my pleasure to introduce him to our client base and to our employees, so that he can talk about how you can save some more money on your taxes, and also at the same time perform a good cause for students here in Georgia. David Neyer is president of the Georgia Student Scholarship Organization Incorporated, with over 30 plus years in technology and leadership roles with IBM, Pitney Bowes, AT&T. He now focuses on providing scholarships that provide educational opportunities that allow Georgia children a school choice learning experience. His company is one of the original and largest nonprofit school scholarship organizations in the state of Georgia. Since 2008, his organization has partnered with over 100 plus Georgia private schools and have provided more than $50 million in tuition scholarships supporting pre-K to 12th grade students here in Georgia. So Dave, thanks for joining us today. I'll go ahead and get our conversation started. Dave, maybe you can tell us, what is the Qualified Educational Expense Credit Program here in the state of Georgia?
Well, first of all, thanks for having me, Chris. I appreciate you allowing me to be here. Yeah, so in 2008, the state of Georgia passed House Bill 1133 as a school choice program to help fund private school tuition.
Interesting. Can you maybe elaborate a little bit on that for us?
Absolutely. So the Qualified Education Expense Tax Credit Program is the name of the legislation, but to our 120 plus schools here in Georgia, it's known as the GASO Scholarship Program. And this is a 100% dollar for dollar tax credit, meaning every dollar that you donate, you receive back when you file your taxes. So you're just redirecting a portion of your state taxes to a school instead of giving that money to the state. And one thing I need to highlight, this is not a deduction, okay? It's a credit. And these donations are reimbursed as a tax credit out of the $100 million that's available each year. So donations are turned into scholarships that lower out-of-pocket tuition for private school students from pre-K all the way to 12th grade, as well as helps schools grow their bottom line as well. And as I mentioned, every year there's $100 million available for this program.
Excellent. So what are the benefits of the GASO Scholarship Program?
Yeah. So you as a taxpayer get a choice where to spend your tax dollars. You can let the state spend it if you choose not to participate, or you can redirect a portion of your state tax dollars to local education. Students receiving scholarships substantially reduce the cost of tuition. And the more funds school raises, the greater amount of scholarships that are awarded to students. And schools offer more educational opportunities as well. This helps faith-based education. Special needs children get helped out through this program quite a bit. It also helps overcrowding in the public school system and has helped the state of Georgia raise its national educational ranking as well.
Excellent. So what's GASO's role in this program?
Yeah, good question. So we are a state-approved nonprofit by the Department of Education, Department of Revenue, and we're the conduit between the donor, the Department of Revenue, and the school to facilitate the pledges, the approvals, funding, and scholarship disbursement to students.
Excellent. Maybe you can share a few success stories with our group today about how this has benefited.
Sure. So this year, especially with COVID-19, we've seen a lot of private school enrollment increases. And what our schools have been able to do is assist families that could not otherwise afford private school by offering them scholarships. And with public schools being closed down, this has helped some of our private schools out tremendously. One of the success stories I'd like to share is we have a school in St. Simons, and they understand the program. They execute it very well. And each year they bring in approximately 25 business owners. And business owners can donate up to $10,000 per owner of that business. And we share the Gasto Scholarship Program with these business owners and show them how at no cost they can help education in the state of Georgia, just using their tax dollars that they're going to give to the state. And 25 business owners, $10,000 per. That school actually raised $250,000 that day.
Wow.
And that went to an expansion project where their cafeteria was dilapidated, leaky roof, etc. So they got to build an entirely new wing with a new cafeteria. They use it as a multimedia room. They've also been able to increase their classroom sizes to accommodate more students. And I got to speak with a mom down there a few weeks ago, as a matter of fact, who said, my child wouldn't have been able to go to this school without the increased classroom size. And that was all thanks to GASO and the program. So the other thing is, with this expansion program, they've spent hundreds of thousands of dollars expanding the school. And these dollars go directly back to the community with material purchases and labor costs to hire contractors to do these educational expansion programs within the school. And it's just, it all trickles back down to the community, which I think is really good. Special Needs School of Gwinnett is one of ours that is near and dear to my heart. We've been able to raise quite a bit of funds for their brand new school that's coming out of the ground right now, as well as a really small school that we have in Ball Ground Nelson area in Georgia here, who this owner of this school is located in a very low performing public school area. He bought a house, he started 3 classrooms in the house, and we've been able to help him fund some of the scholarships for the students that really need it in this rural area. So those are just a couple of examples of how the GASO program has helped schools here in Georgia.
Thanks, Dave. Can you explain how a Georgia taxpayer can participate in this program?
Absolutely. So there's 5 easy steps. Number 1, you have to pledge. Okay, give us your information to reserve your tax credit. We do the job of getting you approved or verified with the Department of Revenue. And if your last name and social match, you're approved. So that's step 1 is the pledge. Step 2 is the approval. Then step 3 is the donation. You have 60 days to fund. It's quite simple. You get notified, and there's a 60-day window to fund your donation. For parents, it's step 4. You fill out a scholarship application for your student, your child. And then step 5 is you get your tax credit receipt every January for the previous tax year. So those are the 5 easy steps. There's a video, and we're going to provide this information, I believe, after the meeting. So you'll be receiving some information on our organization with our website. It'll highlight these 5 steps. We have a video on our website. There's frequently asked questions and a calendar, so you know what's going on and when.
Excellent. Can you share us what your website address is?
Absolutely. It's georgiasso.us.
georgiasso.us. Thank you. On another note, can you tell us about a competitive advantage that a business can take from getting involved in this program?
Yeah, absolutely. So businesses, so we can offer businesses a competitive advantage at no cost. There's an organization called Go Beyond Nonprofit. We'll distribute this information afterwards as well. And this is a report done by the founders of Home Depot, Georgia Power, Jackson Healthcare, that have done the research here in the state of Georgia about give back programs or corporate generosity programs. And if you have a corporate generosity program, it helps employee retention, Customers are willing to pay more for your goods and services, and you can market this competitive advantage. And by giving back to local education through GASO, you can have a competitive advantage at no cost. You're going to redirect some of the tax dollars you give to the state of Georgia through our organization to a local private school, and you're giving back to local education that gives you that advantage over your competition.
Excellent. A couple questions about the schools. Are there any limitations that they can spend those scholarship dollars with?
Yeah, so all of the funds in this program have to go back to scholarship that cover tuition and fees for students. And the maximum amount of a scholarship for 2020 is $10,957.
And is that for businesses or individuals?
Yeah, so the donation levels are based on how you file. So individual filers can donate up to $1,000 and receive a $1,000 tax credit. Married joint is $2,500. Small businesses is $10,000 per owner of that small business or up to their Georgia tax liability. And then C Corps can do 75% of their Georgia tax liability.
Excellent. Do we have any other questions from any of our clients? All right. Well, certainly what we can do is we'll go ahead and send out some information after our meeting today so you can learn more about this program and ask Dave any questions that he may have at a later point in time. We certainly think it's a nice opportunity for you to be able to give back to the community, give back to Georgia children at the same time, take advantage of a tax credit that's available to you out there. And so we appreciate, Dave, you spending some time with us to talk about that.